Please rise for the graduates. Please be seated. Good afternoon. I welcome our students, family, and guests to the Centennial High School Commencement Ceremony. I want to welcome everyone here to AT&T Stadium. On behalf of the students, the parents, and the staff, I would like to thank some special people for making this graduation at this magnificent facility possible. First, our superintendent, Dr. Brett Jimerson. Our school board members, Ms. Pat Worrell, Ms. Stacy Eisner, Mr. Ryan Richardson, Mr. Sean Miner, Mr. Andy Pickens, Ms. Jerry McNair, Mr. Michael Ainsley. They worked very hard to secure this tremendous facility and give an amazing opportunity for us to be able to celebrate all of our seniors today. This afternoon, we'll witness the graduation of 416 students here at Centennial High School. At this time, I would like to introduce Joshua Mater, Centennial High School Student Body President. Joshua is the son of Paul and Kelly Mater. Joshua graduates today with a grade point average of 4.26. He serves on the Student Council as the Student Body President. He is in UIO Academics and is a 3-time state qualifier of the varsity wrestling team. Next fall, he will major in pre-med at the United States Naval Academy. Please welcome Joshua Mater.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. My name is Joshua Mater, Centennial High School's Student Body President. I believe I speak for all of those in attendance when I say thank you. Thank you to the staff of Centennial High School who have spent countless hours and long nights being the catalyst for our success. Starting 4 very long years ago and continuing long after we walk this stage today. Thank you to Dr. Neal for her unprecedented guidance in showing me how to be the best version of myself. Ms. Jackson for being the calming voice to all of my problems and caring, or at least pretending to care. Mr. Hopper, Ms. Matterford, and Mr. Hahn, also known as the Lunch Bunch, for always keeping it real. Thank you to my classmates for the friendships that will last a lifetime, as well as the memories that go along with them. Carpooling to every football game, only to get caught in traffic. The long nights with study groups, only to forget everything the next day. And eagerly anticipating our graduation, only to realize that an amazing experience is finally coming to a close. Thank you to the parents and families who have made this journey alongside us. We could not walk across this stage today without your constant love, support, and guidance throughout the past 13 years. And a very special thank you to my family, Paul, Kelly, and Jacob Mater. You have shown me success even in the toughest endeavors, being the perfect role models for anyone aspiring to be something amazing. But a simple thank you does not do justice to my everlasting gratitude. Thank you. As we begin the ceremony, the national anthem will be performed by members of the Centennial Choir. Please stand and welcome the Texas 801st Air Force JROTC Color Guard for the presentation of colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so kind.
Please be seated. Thank you, choir. At this time, I would like to lead us in our invocation. Will you please bow your head and pray with me? Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for allowing us to celebrate this very unique ending of our high school careers. I want to pray for our graduating class to be an example of leadership, integrity, and love in each of our future endeavors. I want to take this time to pray for our nation. I pray for restoration and healing in the heart of every American, not just those in this stadium. I pray that we can remember that there is strength in diversity as well as unity, and that we can contribute to the solution of love and not the problem of hate. Thank you for every teacher, coach, and administrator that we have at Centennial, for their diversity and differences, showing each one of us that love has no limit. I ask that you give us the courage and fearlessness to stand up for what is right, even if that means we are standing alone. I pray that you give our graduating class the strength and perseverance to be successful while also supplying mercy and compassion so that we can help others around us succeed as well. I want to pray for your blessing to be on each and every person that hears this prayer, that they can love others and show patience to those around them just as you have for us. In your powerful name we pray, amen. At this time, I would like to introduce the first speaker, Ainsley Naylor. Ainsley is the daughter of Stephen and Kimberly Naylor. Ainsley graduates today with a grade point average of 4.51. She is the historian for the National Honor Society. Next fall, she will major in public health at Texas A&M University. Please welcome Ainsley Naylor to present her speech.
Class of 2021. I am just as surprised as you are that I am third in the class and have the opportunity to give a speech at graduation. I still remember Mr. Stanton's shocked face when I told him that I was giving a speech at graduation. As in his pre-cal class junior year, I confidently answered that half of 24 was 13. Still haunts me to this day. Yet, when I look back on moments such as these, I am flooded with a sense of joy, yet also sentimentality. While doing a reflection on my journey throughout all of my schooling, the beginning of 6th grade at Kerr Middle School really stuck out to me. 6th grade was a rough time for everyone, but especially for me. I entered the Kerr doors with horrendous pink wire glasses that were far too small for my face. My school picture included me wearing an equally disgusting button-up with an iconic Justice tank top underneath, which prompted the lovely Professora Johnson to say I looked more like a substitute teacher than a middle schooler upon me showing her this yearbook picture. This picture soon became an inside joke with my friends, as we would joke about the fact that no one remembers me from 6th grade, thank goodness, and the drastic change that I had from 6th grade to senior year. This joke always reminded me of how much we have changed throughout our school years. And it is crazy to think about how much we have grown. We as a class have faced numerous challenges, and these trials have shaped us and prepared us for our future endeavors, even if we didn't realize it. For me, high school challenges looked like getting my lunchbox stolen sophomore year, failing my first test, getting hurt by relationships with peers, and struggling with anxiety throughout all of my high school life. I don't know your own personal stories, but I would assume that you have definitely encountered some difficulties throughout your journey as a high school student. One of my favorite Bible verses that has helped me and guided me in the midst of these high school challenges is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. This is what the Lord says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." This verse really encouraged me to recognize that, despite the hardships we may be currently facing, God will provide a path for us and will sustain us with all that we need. Graduates, I pray that you will take this promise from God and recognize that new things are quickly approaching, yet a way is made for you already. Every past circumstance should be taken with you into your future endeavors and should remind you of how things always turn out exactly how they're supposed to. Take whatever you have learned from high school, from bad decisions to good ones, and understand that joy and goodness will arise out of every challenge, just as the Lord has promised. Though the future may seem ugly, like a certain yearbook picture, be sure to always take on all of the terrible pink glasses you may encounter with joy. Joy in knowing that this challenge will shape and mold you into a person who can dive far out of their comfort zone. Joy in knowing that the outcome is going to be good, even if you don't see it at first. And lastly, joy in knowing that you will make it to the part where you can laugh and celebrate truly how far you've come. I also wanted to take a moment and recognize the people who have been a constant source of help and encouragement to me for these past 4 years. To my parents, thank you for always reminding me of how loved I am, not only by yourselves, but also by our Heavenly Father. Thank you for teaching me how to be a disciple of the Lord by being an example of compassion, mercy, and love for all people. To every single person that I've called my friend these past 4 years, thank you for all the laughs, tears shared over FaceTime, and for just always reminding me that I have people in my corner who are there for me. To all of my teachers I've had in my life, thank you for challenging me and pushing me to be my best, while also being so caring and devoted to all of your students, including me. Specifically, I'd like to thank Ms. Rudwick, Dr. Madrano, Mr. Stanton, and Mr. Reeves for being such constant cheerleaders for me and my dreams. Lastly, I, of course, want to recognize Lisa Johnson. Thank you for sitting with me while I cried about the AP Spanish test, listening to my rants about school, and cultivating my love for culture and language so much that I now plan to study it further in college. You have taught me so much about patience, understanding, and how to see the good in every single person I encounter. Gracias y te amo, profe. Class of 2021, I am truly honored to be graduating alongside you all. I wanted to leave you all with some final encouragement for your future endeavors. Your next steps, wherever they might be, will most certainly take you out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to take steps that are unknown or intimidating. Ask that person out. Change your major to chase your dreams. Move somewhere new. Just go and do what the Lord is telling you to. And just always remember, the best things always occur out of unexpected circumstances. So take everything with joy. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Meredith Mcgee. Meredith is the daughter of Jason and Beth Mcgee. Meredith graduates today with a grade point average of 4.53. She is the president of the National Honor Society, serves as secretary for the student body, and head manager of the Sparklers dance and drill team. In the fall, she plans to pursue a major in engineering at Texas A&M University. Please welcome our salutatorian, Meredith Mcgee, to present her speech.
We all have days where we feel like we don't belong anywhere. I know that I feel the need to dress a certain way, pressure to look just right, or the need to say the right thing at the right time, especially when you're on stage at AT&T Stadium. The pressure to fit in can be overwhelming. And 1,388 days ago, when we all walked into Centennial for the first day of our freshman year, I think we were all feeling a bit overwhelmed. I remember getting lost trying to find my classes that first week. And I remember admiring the upperclassmen as I wandered around and dreamt of the day when I would be like them. With their fashionable clothes and confident strides, I could not wait to be that age. However, as I look back, those first couple of years hold some fantastic memories. From bus rides to freshman volleyball games, winning our first and turns out only pep rally, or sister selfies every day in Miss K's class. There's something to be said for being carefree and a bit naive. And then came junior year, which brought the joys of finally being an upperclassman, along with lots of stress about difficult classes, SAT tests, and loads of homework. Little did we know that there was something around the corner that was much, much bigger, which would not only rock our lives, but literally the whole world around us. Through the pandemic, our teachers, our administrators, and our community have risen to the challenge and done things that were previously thought impossible. But most of all, you, the class of 2021, have risen to the occasion. Movies, TV, and even the Centennial classes before us have created a romanticized picture of what our senior year would be like. However, as you all know better than anyone, it was nothing like we expected it to be. Full of masks, quarantining, and lots of cancellations. Who would have thought the most common question asked during our senior year would be, are you online or in person? However, through all of this, I have learned several things that I am hoping we can each carry with us as we leave this season behind. During my time here at Centennial, I have come to find out that the only way to find peace and comfort was to find it within myself. It is impossible to find belonging when you are looking for it in other people or in the world. The week before our senior year started, on one of our nightly walks, my dad offered up one simple piece of advice. He told me, make your senior year what you want it to be. I don't think I initially understood what he was telling me, but over the ensuing weeks, it began to sink in. He was not talking about events or schedules, but rather living with intention. It is up to each of you to make your life what you want it to be. Nobody can tell you how to live your life, but rather you have to be the one to decide what you want. Nothing is stopping you from living your life the way you want it to be. If what you are doing makes you unhappy, go find something new that lifts you up. If you want to hang out with your friends instead of studying for that test, go hang out with your friends. Take those spontaneous trips to get those free Krispy Kreme donuts for seniors at 9 p.m. on that random Thursday night. As Taylor Swift sings, everything I have is someday going to be gone. You never know what the next day will bring, and life will flash by you before you realize it. So as we prepare for what's next in our lives, it's up to each of you to not only intentionally decide what you want your future to be, but to start living it today. There are consequences not only for everything we do in life, but also for everything we do not do. So choose to do what is meaningful and not just what is convenient. Don't worry about what other people tell you should do or the right way to live, but rather think about what you want and make it happen. Choose your own happiness over what others want, and constantly reinforce your brain with the positive. All over the country, similar groups are getting together and listening to speeches like this. And as you can imagine, themes are going to be very similar. Most will talk about how crazy this year has been. Some will tell funny stories of what happened over the years, and some will talk about a hope for an ideal future. However, today, I want all of you to think for a brief second about that one person that made you who you are today. I hope you all have been blessed to have multiple images flash into your mind. Teachers, coaches, parents, grandparents, siblings, pastors, and others. High school is tough, even in the best of times, but you all have literally endured something that no class before you has. Some of us have had it easier than others, but none of us would be here today, walking the stage, if it were not for those that have helped us along the way. Gratitude keeps us alert of the role that others have played in our lives, and reinforces the good that we come across in the world. With all the ups and downs of high school, it can be difficult to maintain a positive attitude, but we should all be grateful, especially for the unexpected things that have come our way. I do not want to pretend that I know exactly what your experience is like, but I do know that God has a purpose behind everything that has happened, even if we are not given an explanation, a choice, or a reason why. This time is the time of our lives, and it's passing by fast, so don't waste time on regrets and let any grudges go. It is pointless to waste our time focusing on the negative. If we choose to instead see the good, we'll find the people and activities that fulfill us. As a senior class, we have been blessed with an amazing group of parents, teachers, and administrators who have ensured that our year has been as normal as possible. From senior sunrise to Friday night football to bonfire and prom, I am thankful for the great memories. I am especially grateful for Dr. Jimerson, Mr. Holder, Dr. Neal, Mr. Shehay, and the many others who arranged for graduation today here at AT&T Stadium. And frankly, this place is starting to feel like a second home after we beat the Elks here back in September to win our homecoming game. As we get ready to leave Centennial behind, I would like to challenge each of you to live your life with intention, to take the time to thank those who have helped you get to where you are today, and finally, like so many that have invested in us, I hope each of you will choose whose life you're going to challenge by intentionally investing in them. I'm forever grateful for all of you that have been part of my experience here at Centennial. To all the friends I have lost, and to the ones I have made, and especially to the ones I've reconnected with. to the teachers who believed in me, and to the teachers who stressed me out to no end, and to my family, who push me even when I have a hard time making decisions. Thank you. I am blessed to be part of the class of 2021, and I'm proud to have spent the last 4 years with all of you. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our last speaker, Kyler Orr. Kyler is the son of Cutter and Nancy Orr. Kyler graduates today with a grade point average of 4.58. He is a member of National Honor Society and the Student Coalition. Next fall, he plans to pursue a major in business at Texas A&M University. Please welcome our valedictorian, Kyler Orr, to present his speech.
Well, class of 2021, we made it. We've pushed through a year and a half of hardships and uncertainties to get here, but it's finally time for us to graduate and move on from the high school chapter of our lives. I've known some of you since kindergarten, others from middle school, and some of you I've never met. But regardless, after today, we will no longer be classmates. We'll just be a bunch of people trying to figure it out in the real world. So in one sense, everything will have changed after today. But in another very real sense, hardly anything will have changed. We've already had to overcome obstacles in the real world to get here. And after today, there's simply going to be a new set of obstacles in our path. These obstacles to come may seem daunting at first, but at one time, so did high school. But we all made it here. And I feel like that's generally how life works. Though in the moment, things seem impossible or like they will never end, they do end, and you do get through it. I still remember the first week of basketball my sophomore year. I thought it was never going to end. For me, that was a hellscape of fire and pain. Waking up at 5 in the morning to go run 3 miles on a track every day on top of a 3-hour practice. But I did get through it. Though that's not the best example, as I was cut, and my effort ultimately meant nothing. But, that's another lesson unto itself. Things didn't go as I planned, and I became the manager of the team. But the sun rose the next day as I slept until 9 without having to worry about sore knees or whether or not I was going to be dunked on that morning before my chemistry class. So, with that perspective, being manager turned out to be a pretty nice gig. I even learned how to do laundry, which is pretty useful. So, all that to say, nothing is forever, whether sucky or great. And I think it's important to have a flexible mindset for when life inevitably throws us a curveball in the future. Now, I do realize that this message is not exactly breaking any new ground for us, though, as just 14 months ago, we had no idea that our senior years would be anything but ordinary. I didn't know that my high school career would never be the same after leaving for spring break junior year. I can still remember listening to the new Lil Uzi album, getting my customary Friday McDonald's apple pie, and thinking nothing of the virus that I had seen on TV the night before. The chaos that has transpired since that Friday has brought about an opportunity for growth in all of us, though. There have been so many hard questions brought up since then that forced all of us to begin thinking completely for ourselves, as no one, whether teacher, parent, or peer, had a concrete answer to offer us for why things were happening or what we were supposed to do about any of it. All of us in the past year have been forced to decide on our own answers to questions that don't have just one. I want to encourage all of us in the class of 2021 to keep thinking in this way. While learning from and listening to others is important, I hope in the end, each of us decides for ourselves what to believe in as right or wrong, and we each decide our own future pursuits. Now that senior year is behind us, though, I think it's safe to say that it could have been worse. We had a football season, a prom, and for the most part, attending class this year was optional, which is something that a freshman year Kyler would have never believed. So, with all of that in mind, I want to say thank you to the administration and Mr. Holder for making sure that we were able to have these events and retain a small sense of normalcy. I'd also like to give a huge thanks to my teachers. From kindergarten to now, I've had some great people as teachers who cared for my well-being and personal development in ways that exceeded the requirements of their job. People like Mrs. Morrow, Mrs. Tucker, and Mr. Daniel helped to forge me into a confident and capable student going into high school. Teachers like Mr. Stanton and Profe helped to shift me from a naive kid into a caring and well-developed young adult in high school by treating me as an individual person in creating real relationships with both me and the rest of their students. Mr. Reeves helped me in this shift by assigning books that didn't shy away from difficult subject matter. Specifically, he seemed quite intent on hammering down my impending mortality. Books like Grendel and Hamlet made sure to make me painfully aware of just how dead I'll be one day. But moving on from death, I want to give a shout out to the people who made me feel most alive this year, my friends. I really could not ask for a better group of guys to have spent my childhood and adolescence with. The camping trips, late night conversations, and embarrassing amount of hours spent on Dota 2 between us are what made high school fun. I would not be giving this speech without having y'all to help me through school. Additionally, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to thank my family. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for instilling a strong work ethic within me while encouraging me to do the best I can in whatever I do. I also want to give a shout out to my sister for helping me with this speech and always being there for me. And lastly, I want to take a minute and thank Triscuits, the Lo-Fi Girl, Kid Cudi, Peace Tea, Naruto, Mac Miller, and Cece's Pizza for also playing a crucial role in developing me into who I am today. And that brings me to the end of my speech. I sincerely wish the best for all of you in your lives after walking this stage, and I'm confident that we've all been prepared with the skills necessary to be able to pursue great things with our lives. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Ike Holder, our principal, to recognize the 2021 honor graduates.
In addition to the normal graduation attire, many of our graduates are wearing regalia that they have earned. The members of the National Honor Society are wearing a white or blue stole. The cum laude graduates are wearing black cords. They have a grade point average between 3.25 and 3.49 and will graduate on the foundation plan plus endorsement. The magna cum laude graduates are wearing white cords, and they have a grade point average of between 3.0 and 3.5 and will graduate on the foundation plan plus endorsement with the distinguished level of achievement, or they have a grade point average of greater than 3.5 and will graduate on the foundation plan plus endorsement. The summa cum laude graduates are wearing gold cords and have a grade point average of greater than 3.5 and will graduate on the foundation plan plus endorsement with the distinguished level of achievement. The top 10 honor graduates are wearing black and silver cords. These students have completed their graduation requirements with a GPA that places them in the top 10% of the class. The top 10 graduated students are wearing a medallion and will be the first graduates to walk the stage this afternoon. If I may take a moment, being a veteran of the United States Army, I would like to recognize all the students who have chosen to serve our great country by becoming a member of any of the branches of the military. If you are a student who has been accepted into one of the military service academies or enlisted, please stand and be recognized. In addition, for any family or friends who are actively serving or have served in any branch of the military, please stand and be recognized so that we can thank you for your service to and for our country. Thank you, I appreciate it. Dr. Jimerson and members of the Board of Trustees, the students have met all state and local requirements as set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the Burleson Independent School District, and they are hereby recommended to you as candidates for graduation to be granted a high school diploma with the rights and privileges that this diploma carries by law. Dr. Jimerson, I invite you to address the Centennial High School class of 2021.
Thank you. I am grateful to be here with you today in person at AT&T Stadium. Students, think of the people that routinely perform or play in this stadium. People who set incredibly high goals and achieve them. My wish for each and every one of you is that you also set high goals and relentlessly strive to achieve them. Your accomplishment we are celebrating here today is no small feat, and I'm proud of you. Even though this may be your final milestone in BISD, I hope this is one of many you will celebrate in your life. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us. We, your teachers, administrators, the Board of Trustees, and I will be looking forward to hearing of your future accomplishments. And we will be applauding your victories along the way. We congratulate you. We commend you. We wish you the very best success in all you do. And now, shall we begin the presentation of diplomas?
Thank you, Dr. Jimerson. Students, the time has finally come for each of you to walk the stage, get your diploma, and celebrate your accomplishments. Before we begin the presentation of diplomas, we ask that you manage your celebrations and refrain from any excessive celebration or noise that might distract from any other graduate's name being heard. Thank you for your consideration as we honor the class of 2021. All right, let's get started. Please welcome Mr. Jeff Smith to announce the names of each of our celebrated graduates.
Introducing the Centennial High School class of 2021, Mr. Kyler McKay Orr. Miss Meredith Mcgee. Miss Ainsley Marie Naylor. Mr. Cade Wilburn Cash. Mr. Drew Scott Mattinson. Miss Karis Annalise Crenshaw. Mr. Joshua Hawkins Littlefield. Mr. Ryan Daniel Bates. Mr. Jacoby Scott Denby. Miss Harley Jane Woolsey. Emery Evelyn Adami. Mr. Ian Isham Allen. Miss Keely Sky Alonso. Mr. Justin Charles Alvarado. Mr. Spencer Carlton Amble. Miss Savoria Quinnell Anderson. Miss Chloe Nicole Andrews. Miss Tatum Noel Archer. Miss Samantha Ashley Arntz. Miss Ariana Raylyn Allmiller. Mr. Ryder Austin Aylesworth. Miss Allison Marie Baca. Miss Ella Rose Baca. Miss Alessandra Kate Bain. Miss Emily Rose Baker. Mr. Ethan Aubrey Baker. Mr. Thatcher Cade Baker. Miss Samantha Ann Barker. Miss Rebecca Lane Barnes. Mr. Jonah Robert Barron. Miss Haley Nicole Barton. Introducing Miss Hannah Joelle Bates. Miss Tori Adeline Bauman. Introducing Mr. Michael Sean Zidane Beardsley. Mr. Hayden Chandler Beckton. Mr. Brock Kaysen Benuna. Miss Hannah Elizabeth Bell. Miss Samantha Mae Bennett. Mr. Jeremy Andrew Bristler. Mr. Christian Riley Bursuch. Mr. Bryant Logan Billier. Mr. Logan Clinton Birch. Miss Samantha Margaret Beverly Bird. Mr. Ethan Edward Bishop. Introducing Miss Brooke Kaylee Boyer. Mr. John Connor Brackett. Mr. Malik Jaquan Bradford. Mr. Jerry Lynn Bransom III. Mr. Caden Aaron Brantley. Miss Tara Bain Braswell. Mr. Jace Nicholas Brancher. Introducing Mr. Brayton Gage Broadway. Mr. Aiden Christopher Brayfield. Introducing Miss Lataria Chattel Brooks Brown. Introducing Miss Keely Nicole Brown. Miss Megan Grace Brown. Mr. Michael Joe Wayne Brown III. Miss Victoria Lynn Brown. Introducing Miss Virginia Lee Brown. Mr. Alexander Michael Broyles. Mr. Evan Tanner Bryan. Miss Cheyenne Madison Bryant Babbitt. Introducing Miss Mariah Elaine Buchanan. Miss Jordan Mania Butner. Mr. Aiden Gideon Bumgarner. Mr. Houston Bradley Kane, Miss Irene Calderon, introducing Mr. Dariante Deshaun Campbell, Miss Alyssa Dawn Candler, Mr. Caleb Craig Kennedy, introducing Christopher Jesus Cano, Mr. Luis Daniel Carbajal Calderon, introducing Miss Kaylin Cardenas, Miss Courtney Lauren Carlson, Mr. David Antonio Carrasco, introducing Miss Kada Lane Carrasco, Mr. Jesus Angel Carrizales, Miss Angela Marie Carter, Mr. Dylan Jimmy Casey, introducing Mr. Hayden Silas Castilla, Mr. David Daniel Serta, Mr. Trevor Dallas Chambers II, Mr. Daniel Chavez, Mr. Kobe Kavan Clark, introducing Miss Tristan Erica Clark, Miss Casey Lynn Clemens, introducing Miss Nakora Adonia Coleman, Mr. Taylor Gene Coleman, Miss Hannah Lynn Collins, Mr. Caleb Matthew Collins, Mr. Duncan Liam Collins, introducing Mr. Cross Anthony Confessori, Miss Michaela Renee Connor, Mr. Ethan Lee Cook, Mr. Corey Lee Cooper, Miss Bailey Ray Copper, Miss Rebecca Nicole Corral, Miss Kaylee Marie Corrigan, introducing Mr. Nathan Traverse Creedon, Mr. Landon Cade Criswell, Mr. Daniel Aaron Crouch, Miss Brianna Ashton Crozier, Mr. Elijah Alexander Cuevas, Mr. Cash Michael Dansby, Miss Haley Marie Davis. Miss Cameron Marie Davis. Miss Elizabeth Grace Day. Mr. Wyatt Grayson Day. Mr. Blake Christopher DeGoff. Mr. Jared Peyton DeLeon. Miss Katie Marie Denny. Mr. Colston Evans Dixon. Mr. Caleb Austin Dobbins. Mr. Colin Mills Douglas. Miss Erica Rachel Drew. Miss Lilith Raven Driscoll. Miss Lauren Madison Duke. Introducing Mr. Preston Carter Dutchke. Mr. Kendall Michael Earhart. Introducing Mr. Alexander Timur Edens. Introducing Miss Shelby Caitlin Ellis. Miss Elizabeth Janice Emerton. Miss Lillian Grace England Taylor. Introducing Miss Kenna Corette Fabella. Miss Briley Diane Fagley. Miss Grace Eden Farmer. Miss Caitlin Ivy Farnell. Mr. Stetson Ray Fincher. Mr. Davy Jace Fleming. Mr. James Eric Fletcher, Jr. Miss Casey Ray Flores. Introducing Mr. Tremont Kavan Foley. Miss Hope Christine Four. Miss Cambry Lane Foster. Introducing Mr. Kyron Deshaun Francis. Miss Victoria Nicole Fritz. Mr. Cameron Taylor Fry. Miss Trinity Abigail Gage. Miss Caitlin Rose Gamble. Introducing Miss Brianna Marie Garcia. Introducing Mr. Gabriel Xavier Monroe Garcia. Introducing Mr. Keaton Wayne Gatlin. Mr. Jade Zion G. Mr. Jason Robert G. Introducing Mr. Trenton David Gibson. Miss Tessa Kaylin Gifford. Miss Morgan Justine Gilbreth. Mr. Brendan Michael Gillen. Miss Erica Diane Gilman. Mr. Wesley Reed Goldman. Introducing Miss Sayer Cecilia Gomez. Miss Emily Gonzalez. Miss Sarah Rebecca Gonzalez. Mr. Jacob Wyatt Good. Mr. Grayson Charles Green. Miss Corinne Elise Greenhill. Miss Brittany Amberlyn Gregory. Mr. Willem Carter Gressick. Miss Jaden Ann Groves. Miss Olivia Ruth Guzman. Mr. Parker Michael Hancock. Mr. Troy John Harcum. Mr. Jonathan Alexander Harless. Mr. Daniel Lamont Harper. Mr. Logan Patrick Harrison. Miss Holly Dawn Harrod. Mr. Jacob Gregory Hart. Miss Savannah Brooke Hatfield. Miss Grace Evelyn Hayworth. Miss Jordan Paige Hemby. Mr. Jesse Hernandez. Miss Madeline Lee Herrera. Mr. Noah Lynn Hicks. Introducing Miss Samantha Salome Hagara. Mr. Dayton Clay Holderby. Miss Aaliyah Edith Holliday. Miss Brooklyn Renee Holyby. Introducing Miss Jaden Benet Tanale Hooper. Miss Kaylin Michelle Hoover. Mr. Andrew Christensen Howard. Mr. Christian Michael Hudson. Introducing Mr. Andreas Huerta. Miss Mackenzie Catherine Hurd. Introducing Miss Gabrielle Rose Hurley. Miss Kelsey Lynn Hutchins. Mr. Brett Richard Hutton. Introducing Mr. Kareem Ali Jabal. Introducing Mr. Jamiron Deshaun Jackson. Mr. Landon Blaine Jackson. Miss Avery Danielle Jameson. Mr. Gavin Ty Hara. Mr. Michael Christopher Jeanette. Miss Jaden McCrae Jennings. Miss Kylie Rain Johnson. Introducing Miss Michaela Page Johnson. Mr. Traylon Charles Johnson. Mr. Edmund Cornelius Johnston V. Mr. Gabriel Michael Jones. Mr. Murphy Gilbert Jones IV. Miss Nora Joy Jones. Mr. Tony Dean Jones Jr. Introducing Miss Brooklyn Renee Judd. Miss Emma Elizabeth Campus. Miss Caitlin Joan Keller. Introducing Mr. Brant Michael Kimberly. Mr. Darren Fitzgerald Kindles. Miss Ashley Renee King. Miss Jaden Nicole Kirk. Mr. Andrew James Kirkland. Introducing Mr. Arthur Kivier Kitchen. Mr. Cade Aaron Klein. Introducing Mr. Dylan Joseph Corman. Miss Emma Marie Kramer. Mr. Pate Thomas Landrum. Mr. Andrew Reed Lange. Miss Elsie Page Lappin. Mr. Tyler Evan Larson. Mr. Hunter Blake Lassiter. Introducing Miss Brianna Alejandra Leo. Mr. Landon Trace Lee. Miss Savannah K. Lehue. Miss Emily Madison Lewis. Miss Graciela Christine Marie Lewis. Miss Jaden Tyler Like. Introducing Mr. Eduardo Yanis. Mr. Kenneth Allen Long. Introducing Mr. Angel Gabriel Lopez. Ms. Fabiola Marie Lopez Quintana. Ms. Emily Elizabeth Macias Perez. Introducing Ms. Ava Grace Magayan. Mr. Nikosh Garcia McSallen. Introducing Ms. Alexia Rochelle Maldonado. Mr. Daniel Abra Maldonado Arroz. Introducing Miss Kiera Tamia Malone. Mr. Frankie Max Marcelli. Miss Jaden Sierra Martin. Miss Caitlin Grace Martin. Mr. Dazier Martinez Lopez. Ms. Heidi Martinez. Introducing Ms. Aren Alejandra Martinez Padilla. Ms. Itzel B. Martinez. Mr. Joe Martinez. Mr. Javier Mata Jr. Ms. Catherine Kelsey Maxwell. Ms. Chloe Grace May. Mr. Lester Keelan McCarty. Mr. Kyle Martin McCollum. Mr. Daniel Paul McComas. Miss Alyssa Nicole McCrory. Miss Michelle Lynn McCullough. Miss Nicole Catherine McCullough. Mr. Brendan J. McCurry. Miss Chloe Elena McDaniel. Introducing Miss Julian Ray McDaniel. Miss Kaylee Ray McGee. Introducing Miss Jordan Renee McIlvain. Introducing Mr. Kyan Kayori McNeil. Introducing Miss LaKimbria Nicole LaShawn McTiller. Introducing Mr. Joshua Shea Meador. Introducing Miss Hallie Jean Medlin. Miss Riley Jade Melton. Mr. Isaac Paul Mercado Aaron. Mr. Hank Anthony Meyer. Miss Macy Joy Michaels. Mr. Jackson Lee Miller. Miss Caitlin Page Miller. Mr. Jonathan Mason Menace. Mr. Joshua Tyree Miranda. Mr. Sam Mackenzie Mitchell. Mr. Aiden Nestor Molina. Miss Emily K. Moore. Introducing Miss Kayana Diane Moore. Miss Janessa Marie Morales. Miss Mackenzie Marie Moreno. Miss Kayla Rose Morgan. Miss Hallie Elizabeth Moss. Introducing Miss Novalie Yvette Natera. Introducing Miss Nevaeh Faye Nesselrode. Introducing Mr. Roderick Jordan Nusity. Mr. Titus Barrett Newsom. Mr. Brody Jack Noors. Mr. Joseph Benjamin O'Brien. Miss Madison Page O'Neill. Introducing Miss Jada Lenise Olivan. Introducing Mr. Isaac Abisi Orozco. Miss Avery Margaret Owens. Miss Emily Mariah Palomo. Introducing Miss J.C. Marie Parker. Miss Claire Yvonne Parkhill. Introducing Mr. Jordan Daniel Perry. Introducing Miss Carol Yanis Planetable Fernandez. Miss Ella Doran Plotner. Miss Adria Harley Pollard. Miss Asia Elise Pope. Miss Deja Marie Powell. Miss London Emily Pribble. Mr. Kenneth Todd Price. Miss Sydney Suzanne Prince. Miss Sarah Brienne Qualls. Miss Molly Elizabeth Ramos. Mr. Oscar Ramos Jr. Miss Morgan Ashley Reed. Miss Peyton Elizabeth Renke. Mr. Isaac Alexander Renteria. Introducing Miss Trinity Lynn Reyna. Mr. Trenton Denicio Reyna. Miss Adeline Mackenzie Roden. Introducing Miss Karina Nicole Riffle. Miss Cynthia Deanna Rivera. Mr. Landry Michael Roberts. Miss Zoe Mae Robertson. Mr. Antonio Brian Rodriguez. Mr. Rudy Frankie Romo Negretti. Mr. Joshua Madre Rosario. Introducing Miss Morgan Ray Regseger. Mr. Jack Thomas Rushing. Miss Angelina Marie Salazar. Miss Caitlin Teresa Saldivar. Miss Samantha Zane Sanchez. Introducing Mr. Hector Noe Santos. Mr. Zachary Zane Sawyer. Mr. Jacob Cole Scarber. Mr. Ethan Thomas Schaefer. Mr. Nicholas Santiago Schoonover. Miss Miranda Marie Scott. Mr. David Earl Seago. Mr. Gregory Scott Self, Jr. Mr. Hunter England Sells. Introducing Mr. Adrian Giovanni Sepulveda Ramos. Introducing Mr. Joseph Leon Session, Jr. Mr. Dylan James Shane. Brandon Cade Shelton. Miss Leah Avery Shepard. Introducing Miss Olivia Kate Shetter. Introducing Mr. Aaron Dwayne Sedal. Mr. James Herbert Sealing IV. Mr. Andrew Kane Silver. Mr. Evan De Jesus Cimental. Miss Kayla Marie Sims Bell. Miss Brienne Nicole Skinner. Mr. Reuben Skinner III. Miss Alexi Renee Slatton. Mr. Jeremiah Nathaniel Smart. Miss Samantha Nicole Smart. Mr. Corrigan Fritz Smiley. Miss J.C. Leanne Smith. Miss Kayla Leanne Smith. Introducing Miss Layla Janae Smith. Miss Tiffany Suzanne Smith. Mr. Timothy Stephen Smith. Mr. Chad Robert Smithers, Jr. Introducing Mr. Jacob Ryan Smoot. Miss Brooke Taylor Stacy. Miss Abigail Jean Stevens. Miss Avery Dawn Stevens. Introducing Miss Robin Lane Stevens. Mr. Denver Braden Stevenson. Introducing Miss Tiana Tanae Stevenson. Introducing Miss Azure Michelle Stewart. Miss Savannah Jet Stites. Introducing Miss Mackenzie Rihanna Stratton. Miss Kaylee Ashton Sutton. Introducing Mr. Davin Justin Swinsk. Miss Kara Nicole Swinford. Mr. Preston Barron Tabor. Mr. Jacob Solomon Francis Tagle. Introducing Miss Lainey Reese Tamayo. Introducing Miss Sarah Nicole Tate. Mr. Gabriel Matthew Tatum. I'll say that one more time, Mr. Gabriel Matthew Tatum. Introducing Mr. Damon Keith Taylor. Miss Dorothy Jane Taylor. Introducing Miss Brianna Michelle Thacker. Miss Ariana Nicole Thomas. Mr. Austin David Tinker. Mr. Matthew Paul Tischler. Introducing Mr. Jeb Gillette Tobin. Mr. Brady Reese Tooley. Miss Elena Grace Trujillo. Mr. Cameron Diaz Tucker. Introducing Mr. Cameron Tucker. Miss Michaela Grace Tucker. Mr. Mason James Tucker. Mr. Gage Alexander Ufkus. Introducing Mr. Ethan Jared Uratia. Introducing Mr. Easton Douglas Usry. Mr. Daniel Vasquez. Miss Natalie Elizabeth Vasquez. Introducing Miss Cheyenne Faith Venzor. Mr. Gavin Bryant Vick. Introducing Miss Lana Mae Boyles. Miss Macy Lane Wallace. Introducing Miss Jaden Xiongwei Westbrook. Miss Lainey Ella Westmoreland. Miss Reese Nicole Whiteley. Mr. Tyler Dean Whitmire. Miss Ashley Lee Wiggins. Mr. Dean Anthony Wiggins. Mr. Luke Mark Williams. Mr. Marshall Wayne Williams. Mr. Paxton Blaine Williams. Mr. Chase Ryan Winters. Miss Caitlin Mackenzie Woodard. Miss Apollonia Marie Wright. Mr. Xavier Dwayne Wyatt. Mr. Kendrick Damon Wynn Jr. Miss Skylar Anne Marie Yoakum. Introducing Mr. Joshua Brian York. And introducing Mr. Kane Solomon Zaglinski. Principal Holder, this will conclude the introductions and the diploma presentations to the Centennial High School graduating class of 2021.
All right, please allow me to explain how our commencement ceremony will close. After the turning of the tassels, benediction, and Alma Mater, the graduates will be dismissed from their seats. We ask that you meet your graduates outside of the stadium doors, either where you entered or in the parking area. At this time, I invite Hannah Bell, Senior Class President, to lead the class of 2021 in the traditional turning of the tassel. Hannah is the daughter of John and Jennifer Huffman, Heather Galvan, and Brian Bell. Hannah graduates today with a grade point average of 3.50. She is a varsity athletic trainer, serves in the student council, and she is the senior class president. Next fall, she plans to pursue a major in early childhood education at Tarleton State University. Please welcome our senior class president, Hannah Bell.
Good afternoon. Seniors, let me start by saying it was an absolute honor to be your president. 12 years ago, we were tiny little kindergartners celebrating our kindergarten graduation. Looking at the numbers 2021, it seems so far away. Over the years together, our music taste went from What Does the Fox Say and Watch Me Whip to Cardi B and Olivia Rodrigo. We went through the cringiest Musical.ly phases to the cringiest TikTok phases. Here we are now, and today is the day where our journey as a class together concludes, as we individually embark on our own journeys starting our new lives. Regardless of wherever our journeys take us, we will always be able to trace back to this special moment that we all share together. We will all forever be connected through the memories we have made here at Centennial. We will all forever be connected as Centennial Spartans. Looking back, I hope that each of you will be able to reflect on the memories you have made, the friendships you have developed, and the knowledge you have attained,
and recognize the influence and direction they will have on the rest of your life. I send each of you onto the next step of your personal journey with countless memories and lessons of a lifetime. And now, as we officially take our first steps towards our new adventure, I ask that my fellow classmates please rise. Graduates, as we celebrate our last moments together, please join me as we turn our tassels from right to left. Graduates, please remain standing. I would like to welcome our next speaker, Murphy Jones IV. Murphy is the son of Murphy and Michelle Jones. Murphy graduates today with a grade point average of 3.96. He is the Student Council Senior Class Vice President of the National Honor Society, Student Coalition Chairman, President of Debate, and the President of the Black and Allied Student Union. Next fall, he plans to pursue a major in political science at Howard University. Please welcome our NHS Vice President, Murphy Jones, to lead us in our benediction.
Friends, family, and faculty, as we finalize our journeys as seniors, I ask that all parents, administration, and students join me in a final benediction, in whatever manner is most comfortable for you. When writing this holiest of speeches, I wanted to ensure that all people from all walks of life and several religious backgrounds were welcome to join. So pray to whatever God, deity you believe in. Let us bow our heads. As the graduating seniors of 2021 join you in celebrating one of the most joyous moments of their lives, we ask that you keep a guiding hand over each person that graced this field. While the seniors of this class have by no means had it easy, it has been through the faith and hard work of teachers, students, and staff that have made this year possible. As the class of 2021 embarks on their new journeys through life, I ask that each and every one of you keep in mind the Bible verse, Psalms 23:4. Though I walk through the valley of shadows of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff. While the seniors of 2021 have grappled with high school, college, and COVID, I ask that each graduating person of this class place faith in the Most High during the lowest point of their future lives. Lord, as I close this benediction, I ask that you touch the hearts, the minds, and souls of seniors, parents, and staff. Amen. Now, if you all would please join us in our final singing of our Alma Mater. To royal blue and silver, we pledge our loyalty. Royal blue and silver, we pledge our loyalty. Spartans brave in battle fight, we pledge for victory. The Spartans brave in battle fight, as in the days of old, and prove their Spartan honor right. For our Centennial high. One final lap for all of our seniors. Now, For anyone who would like to throw their cap, if you please remove them. Throw them up.